Okay, here we go. And we are back between two Yetis with Chad. How you doing, Chad?
Good, how are you?
Chad, should introduce you real quick. We're actually in the kitchen. This is Chad's domain, and he has been our chef today at the Denison Bimini Rendezvous here at the house on the last day of the event. What have you made for us today, Chad?
Today we did a lobster with a tarragon cream sauce. We did a New Orleans style barbecue shrimp, and last but not least we did grouper baked with a chili lime sauce and fresh lime juice.
It was actually pretty awesome. I'm quite full right now, but
you're kind of surprised. You're acting surprised. I'm a little concerned that you were surprised.
Well, I mean, when I met you, I didn't think of you as a chef. You didn't look like a chef to me, so you know the fact that you can whisk up this stuff was actually quite amazing.
Well, but at 3 in the morning when I made
yes.
a late dinner / early breakfast.
We should prefix that the event today is in the house that Chad and I and my brother are staying in. So 3 o'clock this morning, Chad was making us food, and 12 o'clock last night we were cutting garlic for today's event.
Yes, we were.
And you were up at 5 this morning preparing the feast for today.
Yep. It's all good.
So you are a chef by trade, yeah?
No, I'm a food guy. Like, no formal training. I started working in restaurants when I was 11. So for me, it was more about my passion for food, and
right.
I don't want some culinary expert telling me what to do or how to cook or what to cook. So for me, it's about what I love and what other people love.
And you have your own food profile, yes? Is that a buzzword in the industry?
It shouldn't be, but it is. So for me, it's about where I grew up, the people I love, the people I care about, and what I can do to encourage other people to love food.
And you're from New Orleans originally?
I am originally from New Orleans.
So seafood, like we had today, is kind of pretty much it's a lot of the diet.
No, I would say it's part of my portfolio, but generally speaking, you know, I love fat, so I love bacon, I love venison and great deer meat. You know, for me, I love fresh ingredients that aren't messed with.
Yeah.
So I'm not into a raspberry foam or a hot pink or a fuchsia foam on something. For me, it's good food doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be good food.
Yeah.
So, you know, one of the taglines that I kind of got in trouble for is brown sexy.
Right.
Because brown food can be really sexy.
Absolutely. I mean, I like the way you did it today. It's kind of simple. You cooked the lobster quite simply, and then finished it with a fabulous sauce that was just out of this world.
Well, it's really about what the ingredients really are, because we don't want somebody to mess with it. If you've got great ingredients, they should do the talking for you. So for me, it was about using great sea salt, fresh lobster tails, boiling them, cutting them up, and then using fresh tarragon, a great cream, a little bit of, good butter, good Irish butter, and really using that rather than a hyper-processed, overly stated, and let those ingredients do what they need to do. And although there are some ingredients that some would say are pedestrian, like garlic,
thanks, Lee.
I think there is a heightened sense of what you can really do.
You're going to put something on the menu now, aren't you?
Pedestrian garlic. It is pedestrian garlic. So, and that's what happens when you peel 25 heads of garlic at 3 in the morning after a lot to drink.
Yeah. And a bit of singing as well. You did a bit of singing.
There was garlic in my shoes. There was a shrimp head in my shoes this morning.
You've been finding garlic all day, everywhere. No, but how are you enjoying the event? Is this your first time at this one?
This is my first time at the Denison event, and amazing people. It's really about good people coming together to enjoy a great life. It has nothing to do with overdone or over the top. It really is, how do good people have a great time?
Yeah, absolutely.
And to me, that's what this company's about. It's about what my company's about. It's bringing the right people together to have the greatest of times.
It's interesting because you are quite accomplished, right? You've got your own TV show.
Yep.
And it's called
Dig In Y'all.
Dig In Y'all.
Yep.
Is that like dig? Like dig?
D-I-G. Dig in. Like eat it. Go after it. Dig into it.
And y'all?
Y'all, well, I'm a New Orleanian.
Y'all.
All y'all.
Oh, Digging Y'all.
Hey.
Digging Y'all, that's cool. But you also have published your own book?
Yep, I've got my own cookbook out. It's a whole heap of goodness.
Yeah, so you're going to have to sign this one for me if you can. But
eventually I will.
The inspiration behind this, I mean, is
the inspiration really is my grandmother, my mother's mother, who Mom was kind of the rock of the family. She was the glue that held the family together. And for me, you know, my mom's family all stayed in rural Louisiana, and my mom left. My mom moved to the big city of New Orleans, and so for us, it was about reconnecting to that. My grandmother knew that I loved her biscuits, so the whole thing started with her biscuits and the ability to look at those as her expression of how she loved us or how she loved me. And
so this is more of a family cookbook. Like
this is
what
really
you used
about
to eat when you were younger.
This is about what I ate when I was younger. It's about what my cousins love. I mean, you're looking like right there is Angie's corn and crab chowder. So for me, it's about my cousin and her love of things. And it's, you know, there are very basic kind of the churchy recipes that get passed around. My cousin Mitch and I literally would fight over his mom's sausage balls. So
who's this lady here? Is this your grandmother? Crawfish noodles?
That's Jeff, my stepdad. That's his mom.
Okay.
So she was amazing too. You know, my dad died in '99. My mom remarried Jeff, and you know, his mom was an amazing influence. And again, she was adventurous. And for me, food's about an adventure.
Yeah.
It's got to be
fun.
More than just, well, all adventures are fun, but they're risky.
Yeah.
They're different. They're outside of the box. So how do you go and just bite into something that's just very different outside of your comfort zone?
It's interesting because I have some ideas about cooking sometimes, and I'm kind of worried that, you know, I'll buy all these ingredients, put them together, and it will be horrible. So that's kind of but the thing I like about your cookbook, which is rare these days, there's no calorie count, which who gives a shit, really? I mean,
no,
it's like, this portion is 570 kilocalories.
No.
Who cares?
No, let's face it, I'm from New Orleans, I'm not a small dude, so for me it really is about like, what do I love, what do the people, for me food is about who you're with.
Yeah.
It's got to be about who inspires you, why are you cooking for them?
Yeah.
So you and I both have discussed, like, when you cook for someone you care about, what does it mean? What is the importance of it? And so for me, it really is about, you know, this event today, it's a bunch of people I really don't know, but there are a few people here that I've gotten to know. And so for me, it's about how do I impart who I am and what I feel strongly about. It's about at 3 a.m. peeling garlic with people and laughing about it and having fun about it and going, now how do I take this ingredient and make it work for what we want in the future? And to me, it sounds ethereal or somewhat BS-ish, but that's what's important to me.
Yeah. And it's when people enjoy it, that's kind of the payoff for it, right?
It really is.
Question for you. I watch a lot of Gordon Ramsay.
Okay.
He is a big advocate of using cheaper cuts of steak and stuff because you shouldn't have to go for a high-end steak to make it taste really nice. How do you cook the perfect steak and what do you use? I mean, I love going to a restaurant, rare filet mignon, but I can never replicate it.
See, I hate a filet.
Why?
I cannot stand a filet. For me, it's mushy, it's meat, no fat. There's no flavor. For me, the flavor comes from the fat and the juice, and just so for me, it really is a ribeye. To me is
money.
Yeah, because it really is
a cheaper cut of meat.
It is a cheaper cut of meat. You know, everybody talks about the filet, because they're trying to do something that is possibly outside of their comfort zone, or it's more about the cut than it is about the flavor.
Yeah.
And so you can cook a ribeye and do an amazing job with a ribeye without it being, you know, this whole melt in your mouth thing can happen.
So how do you cook it though? In the pan, minute aside in the oven, or?
You know, it depends on the person. I mean, you know, we talk to a lot of people that are on boats. So, you know, you don't have an oven that's going to 500, or you don't have a grill pan they're gonna get to 500 or 450. So for me, you know, you can do a lot of, there are cheats for this. You know, most restaurants cheat on the filet.
How?
And they cheat on a lot of the steaks. So they're gonna bag them, and they're gonna put them in a sous vide. They're gonna cook that internal temperature to a perfect temperature.
And then just sear it.
And then they're gonna go ahead and sear it on the outside, and they're gonna serve it to you.
So now at home, should I oven it first just to cook it and then sear it as
well? It depends. I mean, because a lot of people really want that grill. They want the char.
Yeah.
And so what typically I do is I get my grill blazing hot, and I use a cast iron grill pan.
Now that was my next question. Do you have to use cast iron? Because that gets hotter, right?
No, you don't have to, but I personally, that's what I choose to do.
Because you can put that straight in the oven, right?
No oven. So for me, I use my gas grill, which I'm not a huge fan of, but if I'm doing a steak, it's a Tuesday and I've got to be at the bar or I've got to be somewhere else or we're filming first thing the next day. For me, I really want to get that cast iron super hot and use that grill pan to get my lines, you know, the secret to everything. And I want to get that pan so hot. And I'm a rare guy. I don't
like it rare,
this whole thing of like, I want a shoe sole, I want well done.
Yeah, I was at a restaurant today.
It's a waste of a
someone
flavor.
had a filet mignon, well done. I was like, what a waste of money.
Complete waste of money. For me, you would take that great ribeye, and that ribeye hits that grill pan with that fat, and that fat explodes, and the flavor explodes, and it sizzles. It's a rush.
So do you rub it with seasoning or just salt and pepper? And then just...
Pepper. Never pepper. Okay, here's my objection. People use black pepper in the wrong way. So you should finish your steak with a little bit of black pepper.
Yeah, like your scrambled eggs, like we talked today.
But you are never gonna put your black pepper on because that black pepper actually burns. And when black pepper burns, it's bitter. And the last thing you want on a steak is that bitter, that smack in the back of your mouth that you're like, wait a minute, you know, if something's gonna have that like smack of that dryness, you want it to be an amazing red wine, a super dry red wine. You don't want it to be a pepper that's giving you that bitter flavor. You want to really use pepper at the end.
Yeah.
Salt the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Hot grill pan, sear, flip, sear. You have great lines. You have amazing char.
Yeah.
Then pepper.
Because I did Gordon Ramsay did a thing where he put butter in it, and got a couple of garlic cloves whole, throw them with the skins on, a bit of rosemary, and it came out really well. But it's still not as good as I thought.
Well, but you need to figure out what you really like. What are you really passionate about? And for me, you know, like, you and I both know that we've had this whole conversation about garlic, and it's not a pedestrian ingredient.
Definitely not a pedestrian ingredient.
It's not something that's so basic that you're bored with it. Garlic heightens flavors, it brings things out. And for me, if you really want garlic with your steak, go for it. But saute garlic with mushrooms, really fresh, good, blended mushrooms, and pour it on top of your steak. You know, if you're gonna grill a steak and sear it, salt. Salt, call it a day. Everything else is dressing.
Is that in the book? These tips?
You know, for me,
I think we wrote the first chapter of the next one. Right here.
Well, for me, it's kind of funny because I'm vacillating. I've got 2 new ones in the works right now.
Okay.
So we've got Whole Heap of Lovin', which is about groups of people. How do you cook for 6, 8, 10 people?
That would be helpful.
Because let's face it, I mean, we cook for 50 today, and it was all about like how do you still have fun? How are you still able to talk to people and enjoy your time? And then there's Whole Heap of Trouble, which is all dessert. All dessert all the time.
There better not be any calorie counts in that one.
It's all about the fatty takes over, and I am the fat kid in the bakery. I really am. So for me, the precision of baking is not necessary. For me, it's about flavors and profiles and how do you just have fun.
Now, you also own a wine bar in Fort Lauderdale, right?
I do.
Next to Canyon and the cinema there?
Yep.
What's it called?
It's called Modern 60s Wine Bar, and I've had it for about 2.5 years. It's great. We've got our own private label wines out. We started actually dealing with a vineyard in Italy.
Cool.
And
Montepulciano.
we've actually got an Arnese, which most people in the U.S. don't go towards an Arnese. They're afraid of it because they don't know what it is. Whereas an Arnese is a white. It's a white grape. It's a native Italian varietal. Super finicky. Very high variation year over year. We have a winemaker and a vineyard we work with that has just been dead on for year after year, and I'm in love with our Arnese. You know, everything we had today, the shrimp, the lobster, perfect pairing. The grouper, it's high acidity, a little bit of fruitiness towards the front, but super dry. So it's the perfect accompaniment to fish. But if we're gonna do that steak that you're talking about, and you really want a good char on something, we've got another one. a Barbera called Rubino that is stellar. Rubino is our number 3 selling wine in the bar. Our Briante, which is our Arnaise, is our number 1 selling wine. So in a couple weeks, we're actually coming out with our own rosé. Pretty limited run. It'll be sold out before the end of October.
It's interesting. I had the most amazing idea the other day. I took a bottle of rosé, poured it into my soda stream.
Why am I afraid of this?
It exploded everywhere, so it didn't work. So then I went out and then bought some sparkling rosé. Sparkling rosé in the pool.
Well, any kind of really cold, high acidity wine in the summer is amazing, especially in South Florida. South Florida, we are like crazy hot, high humidity.
We're outside, we're drinking champagne. This is going down a little bit too well.
I don't know, I'm drinking the Mount Gay and ginger, so, you know.
You've been on that all day, haven't you?
Been this, it's about 9 o'clock this morning, so.
It's been a long day so far.
I'm a little afraid of it tonight, but it's all
Absolutely.
good.
Well, we are between two Yetis. Chad, thank you very much for coming in. And
Thank you.
And if they want to get the book, how do they get hold of the book? Because this one's mine.
Wholeheap.com or just give me a shout. All good.
Is it on Amazon?
It is on Amazon.
Cool. Get it on Amazon. Cool.
Perfect.
Thanks. Yeah.